Hello everybody, Beth's Golden here. I just want to welcome you to my channel. Today I am in a blog hop with Art Anthology and Rita Barakat. I have to tell you that I have had a bit of a software breakdown. My computer crashed, and so I'm doing a voiceover of this video because I no longer have access to what I was using before. That's why it looks kind of wonky and I'm talking with my hands and it may seem out of sequence with my voice. So with that being said, these are two little die cuts from Rita Barakat's Fairy Tale die cut line that is a limited edition. It comes out once a month. They're so cute. Jasmine and Red Riding Hood is who I'm working with today. And these wonderful products are from Art Anthology. I have a Mi Bella Sorbet, which is a beautiful red glittery paint, along with a Cayman Sorbet that also is a gorgeous glittery paint, a Canary Yellow, which is a wonderful glaze, love that one, and then a Tuxedo Black, which is almost like a chalkboardy type black. It's so cool. I have a background already created in my journal. This is a Dina Wakeley Mixed Media journal, and I wasn't quite sure how to use it when I first got it. In fact, I was quite scared of it for about a year, and then I started to really appreciate it. Here are some things that I have done in the journal. That's a burlap page. I just cut a heart out of. This is like one of the very first pages I've done, so it's a little rough. And then I like to clean my brayer and brushes in this journal, which creates some fabulous texture. This is actually a canvas page, and it will shrink if you don't gesso it first. And then now we're getting into the fun stuff. This is my Rita Barakat artwork that I love to do in here. I use her dies and her stencils, and this was for her, I think it was one of the die cut sets from a while ago. I just loved it. Had so much fun playing in this one. And then that's one of my very favorite pages. It's with her Draw With Me stencil set, I think is the name of it. However, if you notice, the little lip right there has a torn out part, and that's because of the glaze I used. It's stuck to my other journaling page, and so it sticks every now and then, which is unfortunate. But you know, it's an art journal. I'm not too upset about it. It's to experiment and have fun in and just learn how to play with different mixed media. So it's all good. And then here's some more pages of my backgrounds done. And then this is another Rita Barakat page that I did. I was exploring with some different writing utensils. And then this one is actually one I did with our Anthology products that I'm using today. Only today is going to look different, as well as, you guessed it, Dorothy from the Wizard of Oz, excuse me. And that balloon is perfect with that. So, and that's a Rita Barakat art foamy balloon. And then the burlap is just some mousse. And then this is a background that I did. I have to finish, and then finally that's the end of this little section right here of my journal, and the rest of it is bare still. But as you can tell, I love to experiment in my journal, and once I get a page done, for the most part, I'm pretty satisfied with it. If I'm not, I just chalk it up to a learning experience and go on. So this is the page I'm working on today. I'm not quite sure if this is a water-based background or a pigmented based background, that is important to know when you're working with different mediums. But the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to use this stencil, and I'm going to pop it down with some, I think that's a Prima modeling paste. This is a really great paste. It goes on beautifully, and it dries semi-opaque. I'm not going to stencil the entire stencil, just sections of it, and I'm going to do it across the page. Now, my two fairy tale characters, I want to have separate pages, but since they're sharing a spread, there needs to be a cohesiveness to it. So there are certain things that I'm going to do to bring it together, and there are certain things that I'm going to do that's going to let you know that it's definitely not the same, if that makes any sense. I'm sorry that I'm working slightly off screen here. Like I said, I'm having to get used to a new software, and the whole process has been a wonderful learning experience. I think in the long run it's going to be a very good thing, but you know how change is. It can be hard. I like to work in uneven numbers when I am popping things down, and I also like to work off of the page. So I love it when things just come off of the edge of the pages. It makes it just look more authentic and it's easier on the eye. So I'm going to make sure that I pop this down. I believe I do 5 different spots with this modeling paste. Again, I'm sorry, I'm going off that screen. And then down here, I'm once again off the screen. I hope you guys stick with me through this. It's really a wonderful process, and I promise my videos are going to get better, but like I said, this is that transition. I recorded this video, went to upload it, and boom, my entire computer died. It was horrible, so I'm having to just learn and make do with what I have, and I'm really liking this new program. I have to let that dry for a little bit before obviously I do anything on it, and I have 4 spots right there, which really bothers me, so I'm putting a little bit more up in the corner just to give me that uneven number of 5. And then that was a little bit too harsh of a line, so I went ahead and pulled some of that modeling paste out, and I'm cleaning my spatula on my journaling page, because why not? It adds really cool texture. I've let it dry now, and so I'm going to be using a dabber and just dabbing this on in some areas on this side of the page. This side of the page is Jasmine's page, so she is going to have that beautiful blue and then that wonderful canary yellow glaze on her page. And then I'm going to do a few things to pull both sides together, but yet keep them separate. So right now my intention is just to try to get as much paint on as I can over that modeling paste that I laid out and dried. And I don't think you can tell too much on screen, but it is a beautiful sparkle to it. It just is so pretty. I'm in love with this paint by Art Anthology. Now I'm going to dip it and in my paintbrush, and then I'm going to go and just do a few random lines on the other side just to pull in and make the whole thing cohesive. I don't want to dab any of my blue over there. I just want to have a touch of it. Now we're going to do the canary yellow with that glaze. Again, I'm going to apply it the same way all over that one area. And then I'm going to also go ahead and apply it up in some of the blue, and it's going to turn into a beautiful green. I do have purple down on the page, as you can tell, which is not from Art Anthology. That's the background that I had already used. You have to be careful with purple, because oftentimes when you mix them with anything other than red or blue, you're going to get brown. It's like the color of sin, as Diane Reevely puts it. So this obviously was a permanent paint that I used before, which is good, or else I might have had mud right there. Now I am applying that beautiful red with the sparkle. I think that this might be my very favorite color that I have so far from Art Anthology. It's just so pretty. And on Little Red Riding Hood side, we are doing a more of a red and black color for her. Just dabbing it everywhere. I even put a little bit over on that side, just a touch of it, because my sponge applicator was a little bit too wet and I didn't want to waste it. And now that gorgeous tuxedo. This dries almost in like a chalky fashion. I just love it. It's so pretty. And black is a wonderful color to have in your arsenal of paint. It really can provide a wonderful grounding effect. And I also use the black on the other side to again do that cohesive thing. And I'm just going to do a couple strips here and there of the black, and I also go over a little on the other side just to pull it all in. Now from here, I am going to let that dry a little bit. And again, I'm talking with my hands. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm sure it's great though. And I have a stamp from Bombshell Stamps. It's called the Sugar Daddy set, I believe, of that wonderful wolf. I thought he would work perfect with Little Red Riding Hood. Unfortunately, Bombshell stamps are out of business and you can no longer find them, which is a shame because I love their stuff. I stamped him on some Tim Holtz plain tissue paper. When I bought this, I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with it. However, once I did this project, it was so perfect, and now I see a whole new purpose for this wonderful paper. What it does is it allows you to add an image to your paper that you couldn't normally stamp because of texture issues, and it allows the background to seep through once you put it on with gel medium, which is exactly what I wanted. I did not want the bad wolf to overpower Little Red Riding Hood, but rather be there as a reminder that he is part of this story as well. This is a thing I actually die cut with my Renia foil paper. It's from Hero Arts. It was from an Arabian Night collection. I thought it would be perfect with Jasmine. And it's interesting. You're going to see Jasmine in this as the empowered woman who is confident, and Little Red Riding Hood is a bit more insecure. And so that really plays out nicely on these pages. I did have a thought in mind as I did this. I am using some gel medium right now to put down everything and adhere it to my journaling page. Gel medium is absolutely wonderful. It is a sealant and a glue, so it does both. And I do use it over him. I just rub my spatula, the excess of it off, onto the Bad Wolf stamp, and then I just add some around to just really get him to meld into that page. It will dry clear, so you won't even see it anymore. Even where you notice that there's some gel medium in the crevices of the molds, it will not show through once it's dry. It is so fantastic. I'm going to put her right next to him. She's kind of looking over at him, knowing that he's there. And I'm also going to smooth her out. I like to smooth out my die cuts on a textured journal page just like this with my spatula and my gel medium. It really makes sure that it molds right into the page nicely, and it gives a nice smooth texture. It's almost like it becomes one with the page, which is what I want it to do in my art journal. I don't really care that it's sealing her in there. I'm not planning on doing anything destructive with my art journal. I just am using the gel medium as a way to get a very nice coverage that is one with the page. And now this is interesting. The Renia foil paper, I also use some gel medium to hold it down, and it does beautiful with it. Sometimes you can take some of the color off of the Renia foil paper. I was a bit concerned that with the gel medium, it was going to matte that beautiful shine. So I tried to only do the edges with some of that gel medium to get it to hold, and it turned out beautifully. I can't even tell where I put the gel medium down after it dried. So as you can see, I put a little bit on the edges of the gold, and now I'm putting it on that beautiful violet overlay. It looks so lovely, and it's pretty much held there, and it's good to go. So now I'm going to put Jasmine on, taking care of my piece that I put down. So I add the gel medium to her, and then I just go over her, being very careful to avoid that Renia foil paper as much as I can, because I really want to keep that shine. I do have quite a bit of text that I am adding to these pieces. I do like to write out my journaling before I put them in the journal. I don't like to write directly on my pages, though I have done it before. But the watercolor paper that is in the majority of this mixed media makes it not so conducive to writing. So I like to write everything out ahead of time. And the good thing about that is if I mess up, I can just, and I did, I messed up on Red Riding Hoods, and I just crossed it off and I didn't put it on the page. I just could start over on a new line. I don't cut these perfectly. I don't want them to be perfect. This is a whimsical, fun look. It's supposed to look semi-childlike, so I didn't use my paper trimmer. However, I did go back, and you'll see I did a paint over pen to give them a little bit of a finish, but I like those lines kind of wonky. I have horrible handwriting, and one thing that I do, because I'm insecure about it, is I add dots to my letters, and I think it makes it look better. So now the Little Red Riding Hood side is going to take a little bit longer to do. My Jasmine side, as I'm laying this out, I'll tell you what my inspiration and my journal piece was to the Jasmine side. I was trying to think of something sassy that I could put on that page, and Christina Aguilera's song "I'm a Genie in a Bottle" ran through my mind. However, that's a bit dirty, and I didn't want that with my Jasmine, so I decided to say, "I'm not a genie in a bottle. You better not rub me the right way. I may not be a genie in the bottle, but you better not rub me the wrong way." So I think it's perfect. It evokes confidence and sass, and I just think it works wonderful with that little Jasmine. Okay, so Little Red Riding Hood is a bit timid, and she wants to please, and she wants to be heard, and she wants to be seen. And so this is really paying homage to all those ladies and girls and females out there who feel like this, and even, you know, anybody who feels like this, where we get so desperate in which we enter into scary circumstances that are not really in our best interest and could harm us, just so we can be seen and heard. So what I do here is I talk about how, you know, you have to be careful when you're wanting to get noticed and attention, because you never know where that's going to come from. My journaling reads as, "Be careful with how bad you want to be seen and heard. His eyes may be big and his ears even larger, but he probably is the big bad wolf." So I have a little bit, I kind of run out of room down here, as you're going to notice as I place that last journaling piece down, but I make it work. It ends up looking really, really cute. And I'm going to take this opportunity to encourage you to go over to my blog so you can join in the blog hop. There are going to be a lot, I believe there's some prizes that are going to be given away, and all you need to do is just hop on through. The list is provided on my blog, as well as you can start at the Rita Barakat website and hop on through, leave a comment, subscribe to our blogs if you feel so inclined. I would love it. I am so excited. I just actually started a brand new website, and I would love it if you would come over and subscribe and get on my email list. I'm finishing this off with some dewdrops. I believe this is Midnight Black, and this is just another way in which I can provide some unity between the two journaling pages. I'm just going to do a cute little line of dots from Little Red Riding Hood all over to Jasmine. So this was such a fun page to do. I thoroughly enjoyed every step of it, and I just had a ball playing with this new product to me, which is our Anthology. I've never played with paint like this. It's so awesome. One thing that you want to think about when you're mixing colors is, like I said, purple can be the color of sin, because if you mix it with anything other than red or blue, you will end up with mud. So what you want to do is, if you want to use purple with a lot of colors, stick to acrylic paints and let the layers dry between. If you do a water-based ink, you're going to end up reactivating it as you put the wet paint down. So just keep that in mind when you're trying to combine colors. And then, as you can see, I outlined it with a Jane Davenport paint over pen. I found it at Michael's on a whim. I used my 50% off coupon for a set of 5 of them, I believe. And let me tell you, it is by far the best purchase I have made in a long time. This stuff is fantastic. It just literally glided right over all of those ridges and colors with no problem, and it gave a nice dark finish to it. I really, really loved it. Again, it was another way to unify both the pages, even though they are separate stories. So if you have not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do so. Go ahead and hit that bell, and I will make sure you get notified every time I have a new video out. Give this video a thumbs up, feel free to share, and make sure you join us over there in that blog hop. I'll have my website listed down below. Until next time, happy crafting.